Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Nile here with my continuing coverage of the 2015 NBA playoffs. Here to recap the Western Conference Finals between the number 1 seed Golden State Warriors and the number 2 seed Houston Rockets. Game 1, and it was an exciting first quarter to watch. Both teams made their runs, but at the end of the first quarter, the Rockets held on to a 7-point lead, and the Rockets maintained the lead throughout the second quarter and looked very much in control. But the Warriors, they made a late surge, and they ended up going into halftime with a 3-point lead, thanks to Curry, Thompson, and Livingston combining for 40 of the team's 58 points. The Warriors were in control throughout the third, never trailing, but the Rockets did manage to tie it a couple of times. The Warriors go into the fourth quarter with a 5-point lead, and Houston owned most of the first quarter, but the rest of the game saw the Warriors in front the entire way. Houston fighting just to keep it close. James Harden gave an MVP performance, finishing just 1 assist short of a triple-double, but the Warriors had 5 players in double figures, led by 34 from Curry and Draymond Green, a couple of assists short of a triple-double. Warriors win Game 1, 110 to 106. In Game 2, both teams played well in the first quarter, and even though no one seemed to really take control of the game, the Warriors held an 8-point lead at the end of the first quarter thanks to a 15-point opening quarter from Steph Curry. And then the Warriors' reserves came in at the start of the second quarter, and they extended that to a 17-point lead. The Rockets made a late surge, and they ended up going into halftime tied at 55 with James Harden already on a triple-double watch. Both teams held a lead at some point in the third quarter, but the Warriors are the one who go into the final period up by 2 points. And then late in the fourth, the Warriors, they had a comfortable lead, and it looked like the game was basically over. The Rockets made a run, and with only seconds left in the game, Harden has the ball in his hands, and they lost it when he got trapped by the double team. And Harden, even though he finished the game once again just 1 assist short of a triple-double, it just wasn't enough. The Warriors, they had 4 players in double figures, led by 33 from Steph Curry, as the Warriors hang on to win Game 2, 99 to 98. Then in Game 3, the series goes back to Houston, but the Warriors were in control, ending the first quarter with a 12-point lead. They continued dominating the entire second quarter, going into halftime with a 25-point lead. And the Rockets, they looked like they already gave up on the series. I mean, they came out with more effort in the third quarter, making some shots, forcing some turnovers, but they never really got that close. The Warriors go into the fourth quarter already holding a 31-point lead. And the Rockets, for most of this game, they just did not compete. The Warriors had 5 players in double figures, led by 40 points from Curry and double-doubles from both Bogut and Green, as the Warriors win Game 3, 115 to 80. And then in Game 4, with the Rockets facing elimination, and they started the game hot. They hit the first 12 points, led by as many as 23 at the end of the third quarter. They started the game on a 12-0 and they led by 23 points at the end of the first quarter. And they were leading by double digits the entire second quarter, going into halftime with a 10-point lead. And all 5 of their starters already scoring in double figures. Curry took a hard fall in the second quarter, left the game with what was diagnosed as a head contusion, but he would return late in the third quarter. And the Rockets, they would continue their dominance, taking a 15-point lead into the fourth quarter. And the Warriors kept battling. They got it to single digits a few times, but the Rockets, they ran away with this one. They had 6 players in double figures, led by 45 from James Harden, as the Rockets win 128 to 115, extending the series at least one more game. Then in Game 5, they go back to Oakland, when once again the Rockets get off to a hot start. Harden and Howard alone have as many points as the entire Warriors team, and the Rockets in the first quarter with a 5-point lead. But a 10-0 run in the second quarter gave the Warriors the lead, and they never looked back, going into the halftime holding an 8-point lead. The Rockets started climbing back into the game thanks to the Warriors getting into some foul trouble. But Harden, he tied the record for turnovers in the game with 11 before the third quarter ended, and that helped the Warriors put some more space between the two teams. Golden State has a 6-point lead going into the final period, and the Rockets, they continued fighting. They got within single digits, but the Warriors never once gave up that lead. James Harden sets a new record with 13 turnovers in this game. Meanwhile, Barnes, Thompson, and Curry combined for 70 of the team's points. points as the Warriors win Game 5, 104-90. Beating the Rockets, winning the Western Conference Finals, and heading to the NBA Finals where they will face the Cleveland Cavaliers. And that starts, more than a week away. So I'm wondering what we're going to do to fill the time till then.